here at the circus in Basseterre. Of course, you know, this is a popular location, not just for locals, but also for tourists, especially during the tourist season. Has historical significance. But complaints have come through lately that the area is not being kept clean, that there are persons who actually litter the area, and in some cases even urinate in the vicinity as well. I have with me Mr. Elvis Manners, a litter warden himself, and he tries to keep the area clean. We also have Mr. Wilman McCall, the operations supervisor at the Solid Waste Management Corporation. Let's talk with Mr. Manners first. You have been trying to maintain this area, you said, and you've encountered some difficulties from persons you say that are being difficult. Talk to us about the situation here.
Mr. King at TDC and Maurice Widdowson, there was great contributors to this purchase here. Every year you will find TDC will paint it, keep it clean, make sure the light is good, dialogue with me to make sure everything is okay. People come here, eat, change the children, pamper, leave it right on the fortress. You got a ship in the harbor. Everybody come here, make sure they take a picture. And at least to carry back home to show the kids when they reach to St. Kitts, and this is where it like. Something like Piccadilly Square in England, so to speak. And this is what we do. We own local girls who work at the industrial site. When they get downtown here at Friday time, they do all manner of things. They eat, they spit bone and the thing. You try to talk to them. And then when you go to the health department, big man, he give you all kind of talk. Or go to politician, he don't care where you go. Or you don't go to politician, young boy. I take it to WINN FM. WINN FM give me justice in this country.
In fact, as Mr. Mann has explained, that young ladies from the industrial park would come down at Friday afternoons and they would sit around. Nothing wrong with that. But they would make use of certain things. They would eat, they would change their children's diapers or pampers, and they will all be left here. And in fact, it is not something good. They must have some pride in their country. As it relates to the support given, Mr. Manners has been one of those persons who have called us very regularly whenever things like these happen. And when there is a build-up of waste in the immediate area, or anywhere in Basseterre, for that matter. However, Mr. Manners himself, we told Manners, even if just you can get the name of the person, and sometimes he has a problem with that, because if the police do not get involved, persons are not willing to give you their names. And so he would, he's struggling in that area. I have struggled too. I asked a police gentleman one day to, that fellow in the green shirt who was observed doing something, if you can get to him and get his name for me. And the police was not willing so to do. But anyway, those are beside the point. I believe there are persons in St. Kitts who, people in St. Kitts should come of age to the fact that St. Kitts no longer produces sugar. We don't have sugar cane fields around and producing sugar and so on. What we depend on is tourism. Tourism is not just visitors. It suggests that there's a sense of cleanliness that should be in St. Kitts, particularly in this area. I mean, this is a centralized area of Basseterre, and I feel like people ought to be more cognizant of the fact that we need to keep it cleaner and utilize it in a much different manner. But to allow people to sit here and eat is something that the police should not allow either. People should be allowed to sit in a restaurant and eat. I said this several years ago, that anywhere you sit and eat, something should be provided for you to dispose. And we should not be able to just buy a half with cheese, run down the road with a styrofoam bowl and a plastic bottle. And when we're finished, you see the persons who went with them without them. What did they do with them? They are not disposed of in a manner that is right. And some of them sit right here, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, with their boyfriends and girls, and just sit here and eat and leave everything on a Friday night. It's something that in fact, the litter wardens have already decided that we would now begin to look at this and to stagger our working time so as to mitigate against persons doing that sort of thing, and so that we can catch some of these persons in the act and have them ticketed. But we need the help of the authorities, that is the police, because we cannot forcibly arrest anyone or demand a name, but the police can. So that's
and when you talk to them and you try to talk to his boss, they're very arrogant. I really would like to see Alex Riley or whoever they call him to come out and make sure that these guys do their work and do it good. This is the heart of town. We're playing around with these tourist business, you know.
Talk to us about what is really the problem. If this area is blocked up, what are the repercussions?
Well, this drainage here, it goes right through the circus where the car come up 4th Street from the museum, the old treasury, and go right over to the new built culvert over on Port Zante. And once you see these here blocked, water will flow, even go right down in Ashberries, as we see it many times down here. And when you talk to these guys and you talk to who join government money, they're so disrespectful. I could do without this, nobody paying me, Alex. Not a soul paying me. I'm doing this because I can't tell him that allow this country dear to me heart. No politician paying me, I don't look out for them. I don't look for money from them. I do this because of the love I got for the country. And if you don't correct these things, I'm going to challenge you to the ground. Because I know you're drawing big money.
I'm looking right now at the culvert. It is
That, but they were truthful in saying, yes, we do throw out things there. And I hope that we'll do things to have it cleaned up as quickly as possible. And then recently there were some deposits here that were from KFC. I'm not knocking KFC at all because they have done everything possible to deter people from taking up the waste, like vagrants and fellows who are mentally challenged, looking things to eat. They have done everything possible to prevent people like that from taking up the garbage. And what happened on that evening, or the evening prior to about 2 weeks ago, there were quite a bit of KFC waste here, which suggests somebody took waste from where they stockpile their waste and brought it here, opened it, ate what could be eaten, and left the rest sprawl all over the garden, which was very, very unsightly.
right.
But you see, I want the cameraman, I want Janos to be here.
Yeah. A lot of vendors and the out of it. Nice scenery, watching local people trying to make a dollar. And the behavior of these people is the littering. They eat food. They
So
take out
people actually come in here to eat food?
They eat food inside here. In the afternoon, when the sun go over the circus grill, he tends to bring a shade here. So it's cool because town is hot. And they will come in and eat food. Some people will cool out, tourists will come in and take pictures. But the littering from the locals, I can't believe it. Can't believe it, Andrew.
So they littered this area, this particular area? Or?
Yeah, they littered this area. Look at here. This box here, the hair clean Thursday. And you see what's happening?
Where those boxes come from? Because
somebody just bring them here and they're going to stay there. Later on they come and they sell. They full up wherever and just leave them there. You know, even people who come from Nevis and some of these, you know, some of these neighboring island people who we give a chance to travel freely, they come and they what the local do it and they just fall in line. You know, giving Mr. Mackay a lot of work to do. This is a place should look
clean. Is showing us an area which a drainage, a culvert, right at the foot of the KFC on that road, which is very highly polluted. It is right now blocked up with trash. We're seeing plastic bags, cups, bottles, and look like really days old trash that has been here that blocks the area. And of course this will slow down water. We are seeing some stagnant water as well. So it obviously water cannot run freely from along the drain on this road into the culvert.
Andre, this is the main drainage. We're gone right under new culverts over at Port Zante. You see where we was over there by Island Hopper and Slice of the Lemon? Culvert gone right down, gone over to... This is one the same. They have 3 of them. One right up by Ready Fry, one there in the circus, and this one. Carry the water from town, coming from government headquarters side, carry it straight out to the sea. And this is where you can't get Alex to do. Now look at Mr. McCall. McCall right here and proper things. And the chief health inspector, the main man who should be driving the thing and making solid waste look good. You know, this is what he doing. And then when you talk, they want to name you, they want to say all kind of bad things about you. This is the problem I got with these guys. And once I got the health and strength, I'm going to come at him till he get it right. And you go to police telling you they can't do nothing because they didn't see them. I said, so all I want you to do is the name, and they will pay me $7. And this is where we get. Now, we depends on tourists. We ain't got no sugar bunch nowhere. No more. We depend on the tourist dollar to join this country. And when you don't got citizens doing these things, and you know, people like me trying to be there for the country, and police gonna be telling you they can't do nothing. With no disrespect, Mr. Walwyn tell me he pass around here and he smell it, and he gonna try and talk to these guys that when people confront them with these guys, people to get the name and do something. Something gotta do. We can't let these people just come and do as they like. You know? It can't be like that. Christmas coming up. A lot of people gonna be in town, and it looked to me like here gonna be the borehole right behind the Little Walwyn. The manager for the Little Walwyn told me that one time he was coming from Princess Street, coming back heading to his office, and a man right there peeing. And he just asked him a simple question, why he do that? He offered him to box him. And this is the problem, you know. This is the problem.
This is like some other areas in Basseterre as well that also have a similar problem.
Yeah, there are several areas in Basseterre, particularly during the carnival season. Now we must understand that when carnival comes around, there are more persons in Basseterre than what we know to be the norm. The entire country comes to Basseterre, and people from outside comes to Basseterre. So there is a lot of persons in Basseterre. Now there were questions asked: where are our public facilities for persons to relieve themselves? On every corner, you can find someone selling beer or selling water or selling food, which gives rise to persons wanting their bowels to be relieved, or their bladder. And when they come up a place like Princess Street, now we know what urinals are made of. It's a kind of vitreous china, very nice glazed material, which does not absorb anything like urine and so on. Now when you pay against the headstones that we have here, they absorb a lot of the urine and they hold it, and until you come and flush that away, the urine stays within the pores of the headstones, and it begins to deteriorate, and that gives off a very bad smell. The odor is really intolerable. And so when you walk up here, or if you walk up New Street where our office is sited, it is the same thing. We have a parking lot there, and if it's not sealed off during Christmas time, it becomes a urinal, or it becomes a place where people do their numbers. And so we need to get people to understand that this is not the way to go. There are areas that you can relieve yourself. You go to a restaurant and drink yourself full, and then come on the streets and want to pee and want to do other things.
Is there a need then for maybe a public facility where people can go and use a urinal or a toilet facility in the area, in Basseterre?
The health department do put out facilities, and they service them every day. And but people have an attitude.
Right.
That
where can we find the closest one to here, for example? We're here at the Lead Street. Corner Liverpool.
I'm not so sure if one is over here.
Down the Pelican Mall, right. Down on the ferry too.
There's always one up on New Street.
What is one?
There's always one up New Street.
And Markal. This one, the health department to police it. They need to police these things. I'm not saying put a worker here for 24 hours a day. But you must come around. The bus must come around. Buy a pedal bike and come around. Come around, man, and see what you got to do. You're getting paid. You're on crown payroll.
There were a lot of people with the bad attitude regarding the use of public facilities. Even though the health department do its best to put up these facilities, they go and they misuse. Like for instance, I was going to my office one evening to collect some bags to give to my sweepers. And here is a guy urinating against the facility that was put there, instead of him going inside, which was empty. Instead of him going inside to do that number, he's doing it against the facility.
That would be one of those disposable toilets.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying, persons have an attitude against using public facilities. And so that is where a lot of the problem lies. The facilities are available because the health department does its best to put out those things at various intervals so that persons can have something to use. But persons have in their minds that they're dirty and not going to use it. That is not good. And so what they do, they use the walls here in Princess Street. They use the walls up at New Street. They go up on Rosemary Lane and several other dark areas. Lower Shea Lane. They just go against a wall. And I'm talking about males and females. Because we have observed females doing the same. They make no difference.
Females doing
and so we ask that persons desist from doing that. Instead of that, utilize the facilities that are available. It will give a lot more cleaner, a much cleaner and greener smell to the whole atmosphere and carnival.
That's right.
If you walk down here during carnival time, you will think that everybody is urinating in Basseterre, and that is not good.